Good morning, students of mine. Happy Monday. I'm just going to go through my little list here. Someone had a birthday on Friday, so happy birthday, one of our classmates. So that's exciting. She's 18. Wow, that's amazing. We're so proud of her. That's amazing. And a former student of mine had a birthday on Saturday. So happy birthday to him. And I actually heard from a former student of mine on the weekend, and we had a nice chat on FaceTime. And one of the big things we talked about was a schedule, and she actually sent me her schedule because I said I had a schedule and she also had a schedule. So I just wanted to share that with you. She said I could. I asked her if that would be all right. Let's see where it is. Maybe I have to go to her. There it is. So this is what her little schedule looks like. So she's listening to songs and doing some sensory and something you see. Yeah, so that's neat. If you haven't seen anything you like on there, you could use it. And I'm continuing to do I have the schedule for this, and I also still have my other schedule that I'm following. And it really does help. I totally believe that, and I know I've heard a lot of that on the news in the last few days, is to keep a schedule. And the other thing they said is to keep in contact with people. So make sure you're reaching out. They said that even though it's called social distancing, they would actually like to change that to physical distancing because they would like people to actually still do the social part. Yeah, so I'm going to ask you what the day is today. It is Monday. Right there. If you go all the way up to the top, whoop, Monday. And there's the number. It's the 30th. Good. So it's Monday the 30th. And did you see that it's March and the year is 2020. I just noticed that. I could have used that last week. But that's okay. So yes, that is the day. Today is Monday, March 30th. Oh my goodness. 2020. And what's the weather like today? I looked out my window. Did you look out your window? And it is correct. So it's saying, see the little rain drops? Yep, it's raining today. And that's what it's doing outside. And 6 degrees. That's a little bit warmer. That's nice. I like that the weather is getting warmer. Olive and I yesterday sat out on the deck and we did some sunbathing. It was very nice. I'm going to talk about the news. So we continue to have this week off, and Trudeau has been asking if anyone is sick to stay home, and you won't be allowed to go on trains or planes if you have any of the symptoms of the coronavirus. He actually is continuing his isolation because his wife had the coronavirus. He is continuing his 14 days longer just to make sure. And Ford continues to ask people to respect the social distancing. And he also said to make sure that you still are connecting socially and that we're looking out for each other. The royal family that has moved to the States, Meghan and Henry, Trump said that he's not going to pay for their protection. So I guess because of all the paparazzi, he's not going to pay for people to be guarding them. But hopefully the paparazzi is also practicing physical distancing, right? Sports has been a huge part of our day. Every day we get to talk about sports. We get to talk about the Owen Sound Attack, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Raptors. And my dad is a bit of a sports fan, so he's been missing his sports too. And usually it's March Madness, which means basketball, and the colleges are having their championships. Because they're not doing it, because school's out, they've been showing other games, and my dad's been enjoying that because he said some of the games he actually remembers watching. So that's neat. Some of the birds that I've seen over the weekend, one that I was really excited about was the downy woodpecker. And that was right outside off my deck. And I was out there and I saw a woodpecker that was pretty neat. Also a blue jay was very close, so I got some really nice pictures. And this particular bird is called the grackle, and it's black, so you think it's a crow, but it's not a crow. And it's got like a purpley head and these very yellow eyes. It's not a very nice bird, I guess. It's a bit of a pushy bird, but I got a picture of it. And you could really see its yellow eyes. It's very interesting. I have a sound for you today. And it's not my dry voice. I've got a bit of a dry gurgle there on my voice. That's not nice. Let's see. This is my sound for today. Do you know what that is? I took this video yesterday. If you guessed rain, that's right, that's what it is. It's on my deck. And it's rain. I don't mind the rain because the rain cleans things up. Now some people are going to get a lot of rain. I guess my dad was saying that his area, they got a lot of rain. So they're worried about flooding. So we don't want that, but the rain is nice because it cleans things up. I'm going to show you the item from Friday that you had to guess. Did you know what this is? There's the bottom. And then that's the top. It's actually called an ostrich fern. And they grow in Ontario. And when you find a fern like this, they say you should keep track of where that was, because in the spring you'll get fiddleheads. And you can eat fiddleheads. And there's lots of sites that talk about Ontario fiddleheads. I didn't read the comic. Sorry, Snoopy. Let's see. That's another one about food, which I think is funny because we always talk about food. And we always talk about dogs. So, Snoopy's thinking, it has to be supper time. My stomach clock just went off. And there's Charlie Brown. He's coming with his food. I brought you something special tonight, Snoopy. I mixed in some table scraps. Table scraps? Well, I never, Snoopy thought. I refuse to eat something that has been on someone else's plate. Table scraps indeed. I can't. Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to look and see. In all the times I was at the Daisy Hill Puppy Farm, we never had table scraps. No, sir, we had good solid dog food. Table scraps. Outrageous. All right, forget it. Forget the whole thing. I'll see you tomorrow. And then Snoopy's floating in the air right there. And he says, let's not be hasty. What's a few table scraps among friends? And poor Charlie Brown has a big sigh. So in the end, Snoopy really does want table scraps. I don't mind, well, not table scraps per se, but leftovers. I like leftovers. That's what Max and I did for dinner. On Saturday night, we had bacon, eggs, and hash browns, and then I had some bacon left over, and I put bacon with pasta the next night. A little bit of leftover, it helps make the next meal, or the next lunch. It's perfect. Last week the question was that I had for you was, are you making your bed? And this week my question is, are you helping with any dishes? I am really trying hard to keep on top of my dishes. That is one of my faults. I'm not very good at doing my dishes, but I have been doing a better job. It's on my, to-do list, so I hope that you're making some to-do list things that you're maybe not so good at and you're keeping on top of it. It's a good time to do that. What did you do on the weekend? I have to say, one of the things that I did was on Saturday is that I went out for the first time in a week. I hadn't gone out at all, and I had to go to the pharmacy. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. So I had to call in what I needed at the pharmacy because you're not allowed to go into the pharmacy in Thornbury. And then you stand outside, and then one at a time you get to pick up your items. One of the things that I got was a new puzzle. I finished my puzzle, so I can show you that. So that's one of the things I did on the weekend. But it was really interesting because not all the places that you can go to that are open have the same policy. Once the lighting on my camera clicks in, it should show you. There you go. So there's my puzzle. It's all finished. Sorry, it's a little bit bright. So the pharmacy, you have to stand outside and wait. Dollar store, you could go in, but you had to keep physical distance. And the grocery store had someone at right when you walked in, showing you where the appropriate carts were that have been cleaned off. So, but when I was out, one of the things I really tried to do was thank the people that are still working. And I asked them if most people are being polite. They said they're being polite to them, but sometimes they're not being polite to each other when they're in the aisles and stuff. So when we're out, we have to make sure that we're staying calm if we do go out, and always say thank you to the people that still are working, because they might be nervous about having to meet people every day. I did watch a movie this weekend because I was saying how I hadn't watched a movie. And the movie I watched was an old one, and it's called The Terminator. And it's by a Canadian director, and it's just a really good movie. It's like simple, but it's really clever. So I really enjoyed that. Okay, let's see, I'm just checking. I have 2 lists on the go. So I think we're at the reading of the book. We were finding out some really interesting information about the dog. I was telling Max about it too. He said he knew that the bear came from the ancestors of dogs. Do you believe him? I don't know. I didn't know that. How did he know that? So we're continuing on this page. And we're getting a little bit of the different types of dogs. One does not know exactly how man first domesticated the dog, but the most important clue to the answer lies in the nature of the dog itself. All dogs, even the wild breeds, are basically friendly, social animals that have the ability to develop a strong attachment to human beings. There are outstanding examples of this fact. The Alaskan Malamute, a powerful sled dog, is wolf-bred. The Alaskan First Nations raised wolf cubs until they became friendly and loyal animals. This same thing may have taken place in the dawn of human history. Perhaps a litter of wild puppies was taken back to a cave dwelling and raised in the presence of people. Maybe a wild dog discovered that sharing the company of man resulted in protection, including easier access to food. It is a tribute to the intelligence and adaptability of the dog that it was able to take advantage of the relationship. The partnership proved to be fruitful. The struggling human race, learning to live in a savage environment, found in the dog a loyal, protective, and devoted companion. Hunting became easier, the sounds of the night were less fearful, all because of the presence of a wild animal that chose to live with man. Very cool. Now the pictures that we had for this section are all the different breeds. Do you see one of your dogs? I see my golden retriever. Do you see your breed? I just find it so fascinating how all of these dogs came from that original ancestor. It's very cool. Okay, and the last thing I wanted to talk about was music. My dad sent me, he sent it in my email, a beautiful song that I wanted to share with you. And it's in YouTube, and it's called 200 Kids Sing a Cappella Style, You Raise Me Up, the song by Josh Groban. Now, it's not Josh Groban who's singing it, but it is pretty cool.
When I am down and oh, my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains
So
me up.
there's a song if you want to check it out. There's something to do today. And I'm going to sign off. Nice spending time with you. And we'll see you tomorrow. I miss you. Bye.